Mommy,
Okay, we're live. Hello, friends. I'm gonna turn the camera around. Actually, no, I'm not, because she's way cuter than me. Gracie, do you want to say hi to some friends?
Hi.
Hi, yes. Okay. Okay.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
We're shooting some periscopes, you guys, and we wanted to tell you about.
What are we gonna talk about?
We're gonna talk about some So, I was gonna tell you guys about my friend Puppo.
Oh, her friend Puppo is the coolest person to know. Her friend Puppo is the best. It's a big stuffed puppy that our sweet friend Miss Sue gave to her, right?
Yes.
And what else?
We have some exciting projects for you, and we really thank you guys for coming.
Yes, we thank you for coming. And what else?
Thank you for, welcome to Fruitful Fall.
Yes, welcome to Fruitful Fall.
And my mama.
Yes.
Mama.
We're going to wait for people to join just for 2 minutes. And we're going to sing to you. Should we show them our lemon tree? You want to show them our lemons?
So.
Okay, here, I'm going to turn it on. Hopefully it's not too bright. Here, show them our lemon tree.
So this is our lemon
Here, point to them so they know where they are.
So this is our lemon tree,
Yeah.
and this is our beautiful lemon.
Beautiful lemons. Beautiful lemons. Okay, I'm turning it around so they can see.
Mommy, this looks great.
Hi, everyone. I hope that this broadcast will be better than my previous tries.
Mom.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's pick this lemon.
Oh, should we pick another lemon? We have one in the refrigerator, but I'm open to it. Maybe we should pick this one over here. Should we pick this one?
Yeah.
You want to do it for me?
Mommy.
Okay, here, come on over, Red Rover. Okay, we're going to pick a lemon while we're waiting on everyone. You guys, this is a big deal. I'm going to tell you why it's a big deal. Because do you know... Oh, you did a good job. It's great.
Mom.
Let's take it inside and we'll tell them how long it took for that lemon to grow. Mom, come inside with me.
It's lemon.
So that lemon, the lemons on the trees, this will make you appreciate Meyer lemons, hopefully, if you ever buy one or get one. It takes a year for them to ripen. A whole year. Hey, can you guys help me too and block the people that are saying not so good things? I just tried to block that person. Block user. Okay, great. Oh dear, we pooped in our pants. Guys, motherhood. This is stuff happens. Let's go help you out. Come on. But yeah, Meyer lemons, they take a whole year to ripen on the tree. I'm sure in better climates than mine, they're better. Okay, let's see here. She said that she has an accident in her pants, so yeah, it's okay. All right, I'll be back in a little bit after you guys change. We may want to change that, sweetie. Oop, we want to change that in the bathroom. Okay, welcome to life. So today we're going to talk about some fun things just very quickly. And if you guys have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments for me. Let's see, I have notes so that I wouldn't get distracted. Welcome to my house, by the way, my office and house. All right, so we're going to talk about, in the midst of a very busy week, a time when you feel overwhelmed, which I absolutely felt that starting the week out yesterday. We have so much going on here this week. How do you put the train brakes on and make what matters happen? And I'm not going to be the only one giving you practical tips. The ladies in my office are upstairs, and they have some fun things to share with you too. So we're going to start with them. I'm going to go upstairs. Yeah, and if you're feeling me overwhelmed, tap that screen and give me some hearts, because we're feeling it. It's the season, you know. I feel like this happens every year when over the summer people come up with great projects they want to launch before the new year, and so this is crunch time for a lot of people. And we're there, but it's all good stuff. Okay. Hi, ladies. Let me turn myself around here. Okay, I'll introduce you guys to everyone here, hopefully with some good light. This is Nicole, and this is Nicole's beautiful orange domain over here. Isn't that pretty? I love her, her board. It has lots of meaningful and lovely inspiration. So Nicole, we'll start with you. We're laughing because, man, it's been a crazy time. Nicole has her hand in everything. So Nicole, tell us a little about, first of all, what's going on here this week, what you're working on.
everything.
Yes.
So the V8 launch party is happening this week on Thursday, so we're in prep mode for that. The power sheets are coming this week, and they're shipping out on Monday, and we've got tons of to-do things on our list for that. We're mainly trying to work out our shipping rates so that everyone can potentially get refunded if they've paid more than they need to.
Yes. See, here's the challenge, guys, is that we have not held the power sheets in our hands, so we're hoping that they are a lot lighter than we anticipated. And
Yes.
we just love transparency in companies, and if there's some way we can give people better shipping rates, we are going to do it. I wish we had Amazon shipping rates, but we might soon. Who knows?
Yes, that's another thing that's on our list to work on.
Yes. Okay, so what has been the most challenging thing for you this week?
I think the most challenging thing is trying to catch up from things that have happened last week while we were at Making Things Happen, and preparing for things that we want to go really well next week, like our Power Sheets launch, and also trying to balance things that are important versus things that are just urgent.
Which brings up a good point. So what is your best advice if you are in the midst of the overwhelm with so many projects going on? How do you handle that in a good way and prioritize? By the way, everybody loves your haircut.
Oh, thanks!
You get a haircut. That's what you do.
Yes, sometimes you do need a haircut. I feel like I am the worst person to be giving this advice, and I try to practice it daily, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But you just have to say no, and you have to sometimes, I like to kind of bulk my items together on my to-do list. So urgent things, I give myself X amount of time to just get them out of the way, and then I focus on the really important things that I need to spend time on and flush out with everyone else.
You're getting lots of hearts, so I think that was good advice.
Thank you.
You did very well. And I will piggyback on that and say that Nicole is very good at prioritizing and getting the urgent things out. And usually the urgent things are things that are connected to someone else needing to make a decision. Those are what we consider the urgent things if we need to pass the ball back to somebody else. We try to get that back in their hands first. Thanks, Nicole. Carry on. All right, over here we have Lisa and Emily. Hi, guys. Last time I did this Periscope, you guys were off making magic happen at the Bliss and Bespoke conference, which was, I hear, very wonderful. So, Lisa, tell us a little bit about what you do, first of all, and what's on your plate this week.
Yeah, I'm an editor at Southern Weddings, so as that suggests, I do a lot of copy editing, and I also do a lot of writing for the blog and for the magazine, and Emily and I work on all of our editorial shoots together.
And she has a lovely bulletin board. Look at all that beautiful inspiration.
And you do social media.
Oh yeah, and I do the Southern Weddings Instagram.
Yes, and there's a
On the
request
side.
to see your baby bump, so just hold that on your list, okay?
Got it.
Great. So tell us what has been most challenging for you this week and how you are making What Matters happen.
I mean, this month has been crazy. I was out of the office for almost 10 days last month between Bridal Market and Bliss and Bespoke, and then we had Making Things Happen, so I feel like I've been in catch-up mode for a while, and then we have all these kind of big new things going on between preparing for our launch party and just, the V8 launch in general, which, if you haven't seen it,
Yes,
There she
it's
is.
gorgeous.
so
Beautiful outside as well as inside, I will say.
just trying to kind of catch up on things while also like working on a bunch of new projects has been challenging, let's say.
And what would you consider on your list priorities? What are the things that you try to knock off first on your list?
For me, I think that I kind of try to structure my day in a way that I know I work best. So for things like editing and kind of tasks that I can just kind of like run through and don't necessarily have to be like super creative with, I try to do that in the morning. And I know some people are the opposite and they would rather kind of do their creative tasks first, but I like just having things checked off my list ASAP so that I can then kind of give myself space to brainstorm or write or kind of do more creative projects. So that answers your question.
It does. And Lisa is an old-fashioned list kind of person,
yeah.
so I'll give you a peek at her list here. She
Y'all,
writes
my
on
handwriting is
a
so
notepad.
bad. Don't judge.
It's all good. It's all about progress, not perfection, right? So yeah, she uses a list system, which I think is great. Everybody in our office has a totally different system too, so that's good insight. Okay, this is Emily. Baby bump. Let's see it.
I'm going to get out.
You guys, how cute is that? Yay! Lots of hearts. Lots of hearts. All right, Emily, tell us what you do.
Well, I also work mostly on the Southern Wedding side. I'm the creative director. So I work on a lot of kind of managing editor tasks as well. So a lot of organization of our schedules for the blog and for print. I do all the submissions, so that's a big chunk of my job. Editorial creation, more in the spring and summer. Some writing, and then a lot of special projects and relationships that we're working on. So that's some of the stuff I do.
Very nice. So tell us about what's on your plate this week.
So this week, a focus for me has been kind of wrapping up our relationships with our editorial partners for print. So making sure that they have everything they need to celebrate and help us get the word out about the new issue. So that's been kind of at the top of my list. And then also, along with that, kind of rolling out the editorial features on our blog, which is a really big moment for them, and we want to make sure that we do it perfectly. So that's
Awesome.
2 things.
Okay, and how do you organize and prioritize?
Well, I also like a old school list, and when I know some people recommend just writing like 5 things on their to-do list or whatever they think they can get accomplished that day, but for me, I like to have, like, if it's in my head, I'm going to forget it, so I like to write everything down, knowing that I'm probably most days not going to check off most, but on really busy days, I will make an asterisk next to the things that I absolutely need to get done that day, and then I can just roll over anything that I don't get done to my to-do list for the next day. So that's what I like to do. And then in terms of prioritizing it, especially this week, I've been trying to prioritize things that prioritize getting other people what they need so that they can do their work and I'm not holding them up before I kind of focus on tasks that only involve me. If that makes sense.
Yes, I agree with that too. All right, ladies, bonus question. What are you most excited about for the Southern Weddings launch event at the Carolina Inn on Thursday?
Oh my gosh, so many things.
What makes you most excited? I have to get a view of the monogram chairs here, sorry.
We have, I mean, there's so many, we have more than 300 people coming to celebrate with us, and some of them are flying in, and a lot of them are people who've been involved in the issue in some way, whether it's a sponsor or editorial partners or reader models. And so we just had such an amazing, fun shoot season this year, and I'm really excited to celebrate with all these people, and it's definitely a night that's not just about us, it's about them and the beautiful work that they shared with us, so it's just fun for like all those people to have their moment as well.
I love it. What are you excited about, Lisa?
My mom and my sister are coming.
Yay!
So I'm really excited. That's going to be their first launch party. So yeah, we'll have kind of a Southern Weddings family club. Yeah. So
That is
I'm really
awesome.
excited to share that with them.
All right, and then most important, you have to see what fuels these ladies to make what matters happen. Lots of chocolate, dun-da-dun, peanut M&Ms. Yeah, that's really what it's all about right there.
Absolutely.
Yep, you can see the layout is happening for the launch party here. We have our simplified binder full of goodness. So many good things. Thank y'all. Carry on. All right, Nicole, bonus question for you. What are you most excited about for the power sheets arriving?
I'm excited to finally get a million things crossed off our to-do list that are waiting on the power sheets to arrive.
Yes.
And I'm excited for the nerves that I have about not seeing them to be gone.
Yes, I'm with you. I am so excited for people to get them in their hands. We spent so much time changing and refining and little nitpicky things that I think will be worth it. So, yeah,
Yes.
we're excited.
Definitely agreed with that.
Okay, great. What is this quote you're working on? Because I kind of love it.
Oh, well, this is for the Making Things Happen conference Instagram. So we just came off the fall conference last week, and we're just trying to keep everyone like in that headspace that has been to the conference. So we're trying to give them a little bit of Instagram encouragement, making some graphics for them.
And this is such a great quote that Nancy shared. It said, "You are most satisfied with your day when what you value and how you spend your time match." So I love that. How you spend your time is how you spend your life. Awesome. Yeah, everybody loves your haircut, by the way, Nicole. And they say that they need your outfit. And you can learn more about the Making Things Happen conference at makingthingshappen.com. It's likely going to be on April 11th next year. That's not confirmed yet, but it likely will. And somebody asked if Power Sheets are still available. Yes, we have very, very limited supply of the Power Sheets workbooks available. But there are lots of sheet sets. We tried to order as much as we could this time.
Yes.
So,
plenty of binders and stickers and all the fun stuff available too.
laracaseyshop.com, you can pre-order and they will ship likely Monday or Tuesday. We're so excited. All right, carry on.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, ladies. I'm going to go into my office real quick. The Mason water jars are from the Mason Bar Company, and we love them so much. The ladies just love them all. All right, I'm going to give you just a couple tips, and that'll be it, so that you guys can get back to making what matters happen. I took some notes because I didn't want to get too distracted here, but let's see if I can find my notes. All right, one sec. Well, I can't find my notes, and there must be a reason for that. So I'm just going to speak off the cuff. And y'all feel free to ask questions when I'm done giving these couple of tips too. I'd be happy to answer a few questions. In the midst of all the stuff and all the busy and so many things going on, for me anyway, there comes a point of surrender where you just have to realize that you can't do it all. And I can't. I'm one person. I can't do it all. And you have to prioritize what really does matter most. And the way that I define priorities is to look at the very big picture, not the big picture of how my business would grow or, you know, how anything would happen in the next week at all. I look at the really big picture. So I ask myself, where do I want to be when I'm 80 years old? Where do you want to be when you're 80 years old? So if anybody has thoughts on that, you're welcome to leave it in the comments. Where do you want to be when you're 80 years old? And looking at that big picture vision, it helps me work backwards and realize if that's where I want to be when I'm 80 years old, what's important today? And it was so helpful for me this week. I have so much on my list. I mean, the moment the power sheets get in our office, I have to record the video that goes with them, and we have to do all the product photography. I have to write a newsletter. We have to write so many things within the span of about 24 hours. Come back to those questions, y'all. Don't lose those questions. I will answer them about the power sheets, workbook, and worksheets. And there's so many other things going on too. I'm starting to write my next book right now, which I'm very excited about. I had an amazing phone call with my editor today, which was just so good and so clarifying. I'm so pumped to start writing it. And I have a family and a little one that I am nursing all the time, and so much going on here. And I also am keenly aware that with all of these things that I have in my life, I still need to have margin to be able to listen to what God wants from me and to listen to his leading on the things I'm supposed to be doing. So if he wants me to chuck all of these to-dos, then I should be able to do that for something that's more important. So that's my best advice to you, is to look at the very big picture. Look at the big picture. And if you see yourself when you're 80 years old, having built strong relationships with people, which most people will say that the thing they see when they're 80 years old is relationships. And I can guess that most of you, if you look at the picture of when you're 80 years old, it does not include how many followers you have on social media or how much money you have in your bank account necessarily. And there's certainly nothing inherently wrong with using money on purpose in good ways and using the audience that you've been given to encourage and inspire people. But when those things become more important than the big picture, then you can really get far off track. So I hope that helps a little bit. That is my absolute number one tip. The other tip I have is that when you're starting to feel overwhelmed, you really need to pinpoint why you're feeling overwhelmed. And this is just a very practical tip, is to take a piece of paper, doesn't have to be a perfect notebook or perfect handwriting, and list out all the things that you have on your plate. Every single little thing, like you need to walk your dog or you need to finish a project or whatever it is. And just getting all those thoughts out of your head and on paper where you can see them in black and white. It seems like such an obvious, simple step, but most of us don't do it. Most of us just write down the things that we feel like we have to do and the things that feel urgent, and we don't write down all the stuff that's swimming in our minds, taking up the mental and creative space that could be used to do those things well. So that is my advice. Okay, any questions? I'm just going to take like 5 minutes of questions, and then I got to get back to making what matters happen here. So somebody asked about the difference between the workbook and the worksheets. They are exactly the same process, with the addition in the workbook of having seasons throughout. So in the workbook, it's a full 1 year of intentional goal setting worksheets that takes you through the different seasons of life. And for instance, in the season of summer, we went through Fruitful Summer together this year and really focused on cultivating relationships. So you'll see some extra exercises and worksheets that have to do with that, for instance, in the summer. You can, however, this is the first year we've done this, there's an option to purchase a full year of the loose worksheets too. So I highly recommend both of them. It just depends on whether or not you're a binder type of person and you want to be able to mix and match and add your own sheets, or if you like a workbook. So we're excited about that. And we, very frankly with you guys, we ordered very few of the workbooks. So if you want one of those, you better get one because we're going to sell out soon. All right, other questions? And if I missed them, definitely come back. Would love to know where the inspiration boards are from the desks. Yes, so those are actually just normal old school grade bulletin boards that we painted white. That's it. We did our own painting on them. We used house paint. I think it was just like an acrylic house paint. All right, what else? Anything? Oh, hi from South Africa. Amazing. Yeah, and if you guys have connection issues, you can always watch the replay. And that'll be available for 24 hours. What are ways that I stay encouraged, and what's my Myers-Briggs? I am an INFP, is my Myers-Briggs type. Ways that I stay encouraged is through scripture. That is absolutely the way that I cut through all the junk and all the clutter in my life. Yesterday morning, I felt really overwhelmed starting the week because I had so much on my plate. And rather than look at my schedule, I decided to just look at scripture. And it just zapped me right back into knowing what's important. And it actually helped me cross off a whole bunch of the things that I thought I had to do this week. And I just crossed them off. They didn't matter in the big picture. Yeah. Okay. What else? Somebody asked another question. I'm sorry I lost it. Next time I'll have someone write these questions down. But how do I deal with distraction? I deal with distraction by remembering how deeply lost I was in the mire of so many distractions and how my life changed in that way. So for instance, and I still get, lost in a lot of these things, but in about 6 years ago, I was looking at social media 24/7. I was chasing more followers. I was chasing more money. I was chasing all the distractions. I had all the dings on my phone would go off 24/7. And my marriage started to crumble. So how do I deal with distraction? I think back about that time, and I realized that if I don't keep those distractions away, then my life could potentially go back to that, and I never want to go back to that. So I have a no tolerance policy on distractions. And again, I'm not perfect. I mess up all the time. But for instance, we purposely don't have cable TV so that we can spend more time together at night in the little time that we do have at night. I don't have any alerts on my phone. I don't have any notifications on my phone. My phone stays on silent all day long, and I stick it in a drawer most of the time. I don't have any distracting bookmarks on my Safari. I have office hours. I mean, I could go on and on. And I recommend getting a copy of my book too. That's why I wrote the book. So if you haven't already picked up a copy of Make It Happen, I highly recommend you pick it up because it was a joy to write about how I deal with distractions in that too. Somebody asked another thing. Was it hard to get Ari on board when you started to get motivated to get back on track and make changes? Yeah, great question. I get asked this a lot. It is hard with a spouse. You can only change yourself. And I had to learn that the hard way of trying to bulldoze and change him and take the reins. And I realized that I am only in control of my own actions. And so somebody asked what the book is called. It's Make It Happen. So yes, it was challenging at first, but when people physically see the change in you, and when Ari started to see the change in me and to see me walk the walk instead of just talk the talk, he started to wonder where all the change was coming from, and it actually piqued his curiosity, and he started to change as well. So you have to start with yourself. Yeah. All right. And somebody asked how I stay encouraged, and I think I half answered that. Scripture, absolutely. Prayer, I know those sound like very religious type of answers, but they're relationship answers for me. It's just connecting with God in any way. Maybe for you, it's worship music or scripture or, using your Write the Word journal, which I love so much in my life too. That is how I stay encouraged, because the only true encouragement comes from knowing the truth, and that is, for me, the truth. So it just helps me to have a clear path ahead and keeps me encouraged about what matters. How can we hear the testimony of your marriage? You can actually listen to several podcasts that I've done online. It's also in my book too, the Make It Happen book, but you can go to unveiledwife.com. And if you search in Unveiled Wife, search my name, Lara Casey, you will find my story there, and you'll see a deeper look into our testimony. And I'm actually working on a page on my website to give you a lot more resources. You can also hear my story on Jess Lively's podcast. If you search my name on her website, it's Jess Lively, just like the way it sounds, Lively. That's a great one to start with too, but I'd say that Unveiled Wife probably has the most details about my story. Obviously my book does too, but yeah. All right, anything else? Thank y'all for joining me. This is great. I think I'm starting to get this Periscope thing. Oh, you're welcome. This fruitful summer was really wonderful. How do I deal with being tired? Man, that's a really good question. And I will come back to your question too. I think Eloy is the one that asked that. How do I deal with being tired? Oof. Well, there's 2 stages of tired. First, when I think about tired right now, it's the tired I just experienced going through the newborn phase, but I'm going to skip ahead and think about the tired that is just kind of normal in life. I tried to keep my focus on good self-care for the purpose of me being able to have energy for my family and to use the gifts that God has given me. That's my focus on it. So I try to eat very healthy. Again, not perfect with any of this, but as a former personal trainer, I do have some knowledge about it, and that's been very helpful. This sounds so silly, but recently I switched multivitamins. I'm now taking the Women's One Light, and it has given me so much good energy. So, yeah, that. I try to drink tons of water throughout the day. I get up too. So if you're sitting at your desk and you've been sitting there all day long, get up and give yourself a stretch break, and that'll help to give you some energy. Another thing that helps me a lot is just being really motivated by the purpose and calling that God's given me on my life. And if you're listening to this and you're like, I have no idea what my purpose and calling is, that's not a negative or a bad thing. That's a starting point to me. So lean into that and keep leaning into those doubts and leaning into those questions and leaning into that restlessness, and put one foot in front of the other, and little by little keep trying to find what that is. Somebody else had a question. Sorry, I need to write these down. And thank y'all for being here. It's nice to see familiar faces and new faces pop up. How do I deal with being bored? Good question. Maybe this isn't the right answer, but I'm never bored. I think it's because I have defined over and over in my life, and in through the work I do with making things happen and so many things, I try to keep in front of my face a list or a mental list of the things that fire me up. And it helps to keep me from being bored. There's so much that I want to sink my teeth into, and so many things to celebrate in life. And this isn't coming from a place of someone who's always been like this. It's coming from a place of having experienced a lot of pain and a lot of hurt. So yeah, that's my answer to that. When you have 2 kids too, man, it's really easy to not be bored all the time. They're pretty funny. All right, what else? Anything? How do we make it happen in a nutshell? Okay, good question. It depends on what your it is, so I will half answer that question. How do you make it happen is you focus on what matters most, and you... All right, I'm just going to say it. So you have to stop chasing the world's idea of what perfect is. And that is what made me go on the wrong path for so many years of my life. So in order to really make it what matters happen, and we'll just redefine make it happen for a second. I look at make it happen. I look at the it as if it stands for intentional time. So making intentional time happen is what the aim of my heart is. In order to make intentional time happen, you have to spend your time and spend your days on the things that will help you get to that point when you're 80 years old, feeling satisfied with relationships. And maybe today that means apologizing to someone, or stepping into some hard stuff, or taking a risk, or saying no to something, or saying yes to something. It really means making decisions. So all that to say, it is... in order to make it happen, making intentional time happen, you have to choose what matters. And sometimes making a decision is hard. How do I manage a growing business purpose, and still be a mommy? That's a very good question. I don't do it alone. I'm certainly not a superwoman at all. You can read my last post on my blog for just a little bit of insight to how things are kind of working right now. But I do have a full-time nanny here, Rhiannon, who's a godsend and amazing. And she is with Grace all day. And I am with Joshua for most of the day. And how do I manage it is that all of these things are tied together. Like, for instance, my business, the heart of my business is something that I believe in just as much as I believe in the love I have for my children. And that's not how it's always been before. But the mission and heart of what we're doing, I believe, is important to God. And so, yeah, I don't know if that answers that question, but everything that I do circles around the same heart and mission. So I never really feel like I'm flip-flopping back and forth, if that makes sense. Yeah, I just try to listen and obey and do what God wants me to do every day. I don't know if that helps, but that's where my heart is. And practically speaking, like I said before, we just try to keep the distractions away. Like, we try to use every minute of our time on purpose, and we make a lot of mistakes. A lot. I, as a mother, make tons of mistakes. So, yeah, even with the mistakes, you have to choose purpose over perfect. Okay, we talked about the worksheets versus the workbook. Yes, you're welcome to listen to the replay for more details, but, and I promise you on our shop, we're going to have way better listings for you guys to figure out which option is best for you. They're both the same process for the most part, but the workbook, the PowerSheets workbook, is a bound workbook, so it has a coil around it. So it depends on if you're a workbook type of person or you're a worksheets type of person and you want more creative flexibility there. I love them both. I don't know how I'm personally going to choose, but the difference with the workbook, besides it being bound, is that it does have a few additional features. It walks you through the seasons. If you've read my book, or even if you haven't, it walks you through each season and things that are specific to those seasons. So for instance, in the season of this upcoming season of winter, of fall, is typically a time where people get caught up in the hustle and bustle. So we have incorporated into that PowerSheets workbook and into the regular PowerSheets seasonal things that will help you to fight against that and help you to focus on what truly matters in that season. So there you go. You said, I don't feel worthy enough for the PowerSheets. You are absolutely worthy enough for PowerSheets. I don't know what that means, but I think that everyone has a purpose on this earth and that you are given gifts that need to be used. So whether you use PowerSheets or not, it doesn't matter. I just hope that you take a step towards making those things happen that you know you were created to do. Okay, lots of goal questions. We're going to do a whole nother Periscope on goal stuff, I promise. That is definitely coming. The whole month of December is going to be focused on that, so I'm excited about that. And hi, Christy Rice, my sweet friend Christy Rice. If you guys don't know Christy, she's a wonderful person to follow on all social channels because she's just a great person in person and an amazing artist. So I love you, sweet friend. All right, a couple more questions and I will be done. I'm so excited that you're excited about the new journal too. Yes. And the new Write the Word journals are also on their way. Supplies are running low on the Write the Word journals. We did not order enough of those. We didn't realize they would be so popular. We're going to get another reorder, but not until January. And also the PowerSheets workbook. We have lots of worksheets. I say that right now, but every year we've sold out. So I'm just warning you. If you want one, you should probably get one. And I'm not trying to sell you on something. If you're on a Dave Ramsey budget, don't buy the PowerSheets. Save your money. Or maybe they'll help you. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, last question. What is... Oh, I just lost it. It faded. Sorry, y'all. Oh, Periscope. One more question. Someone can pop it up. What if you have a priority conflict? Can you tell me a little bit more about that? I'm not sure how to answer that. Husband, family, friends. I think that I probably wouldn't be able to answer that in a short Periscope, but that is a really good question, and I'm grateful that you asked it. So maybe I can come back to that at another time. And I'm sorry, I just want to make sure that I do that question justice. All right, any other short questions? Thank y'all so much for the hearts, just because I love them. They're colorful and fantastic. All right, we'll close out then. Oh wait, one more. How faith-focused is the Make It Happen book? It is definitely a faith-focused book, but I will say that I've had lots of people read it who don't necessarily have a belief, and that's why I wrote it the way I wrote it, so that if you're someone that is not a faith person, that you could potentially read it and yeah, and still get so much out of it. So I really hope that you pick it up. You can also get a sample of the book on iBooks. I believe Kindle has a sample too. You can read the first chapter. So yeah, I hope that encourages you. All right, thanks y'all. Thank you so much for your time. And I think I just did a Periscope without totally crashing it. God is good. If you missed anything or you're just joining, you can watch the replay in just a couple seconds when I close this out. But just some final encouragement for you guys too, that if you're sitting there in the overwhelm and you just don't know where to start, my advice to you is to put the train brakes on and do the very opposite of what you think you should do. And that's to stop, take a breath, be still, put the to-do list away for a minute, and take some time to look at the big picture. So my very first practical step for you is to close your computer for a second and turn over the to-do list, and instead get out a piece of paper and write out where you want to be when you're 80 years old. And look at that big picture. All right, I have to go feed a little baby now, but thank you guys for joining. Bye.